Good evening, this is our evening SeaMe news from Focus TV studio. Multimania attracts new media students. Memorable music interview talkfest held in Belgium, UEA fantastic media trip in Belgium. An excellent opportunity for media and technical students to communicate with each other. European students participate in the Multimania, which brings together professionals, students, and entrepreneurs to share knowledge, get inspired, and build a communicate on 14th May 2013. The inter-issues surrounding in the event to exciting and inspiring. Each year, the conference grows a little bigger, and this year, the experience gets a little better.
The hotspot of the digital professional, that is what Multimania is called like. It's a free fair with dozens of workshops, every year more than 2,000 visitors. New this year, even communication managers are invited.
Het is zo dat apps en allerlei digitale toepassingen zouden niet werken als zij niet in een ruimer verband, in een ruimer kader, in een ruimere campagne zouden passen. En wij willen hier een aantal inspirerende voorbeelden brengen uit de reclamewereld of uit de communicatiewereld in het algemeen, van geïntegreerde communicatie, maar die tegelijkertijd vernieuwend is.
One of them is Bob Madou of the Royal Soccer League. He invented an interactive campaign which gave the Red Devils a boost. A campaign with challenges for soccer lovers, and if they succeed, the players also had to do a challenge.
Het komt er eigenlijk op neer dat we van een klassiek verhaal, van een activatie tussen de spelers van ons nationale ploeg en van een ander nationaal team eigenlijk een ander soort competitie opgebouwd hebben, namelijk één tussen onze fans en onze spelers. We hebben dat geprobeerd om op een ludieke manier te doen. En zowel die dingen die de fans deden, als die dingen die de spelers als tegenprestatie deden, om die een beetje uit te vergroten en te tonen aan iedereen.
Other speakers are Raoul Maris and Hans Kerkhoff from Ardooien. They solve daily problems with humor. For instance, this machine that takes away the annoying noise of a smartphone.
Tja, de eerste die het goede voorbeeld geeft. Jij bent een leider. We hebben een leider, dames en heren.
We hebben daar iets op bedacht, een blok eigenlijk waar je je telefoon insteekt, maar die dat op een ludieke manier doet. Je wordt er namelijk voor bedankt. Op een geestige manier, je steekt je telefoon erin en er zit een stem in die op een grappige manier jou eigenlijk bedankt en motiveert om je cellfoon af te geven.
Multimania last Monday and Tuesday in Kortrijk Expo.
Dank voor je smartphone. Jij hebt duidelijk power.
Recently, Cogins held a Redhead radio talkfest to discuss the survival of music interview and first aid kit for the bands and reporters. Redhead radio's host Echo Dunster from the studio Brussels and Sophia Little from BBC gave their advice. What while students experience a music journalist and a musician attend their festival?
The projects SeaMedia Howest, IC Music De Kroon, Music Center Track and Grunfik came together to create the Redhead Radio Talkfest. The event is a reaction to the many music interviews that go wrong or lack content. By bringing two experienced radio presenters together, Radio Redhead wants to give tips and tricks about how to interview bands.
We brought together a radio persona from the UK, Sophie Little, with red hair. I met her a while back and she reminded me a little bit of Eiko Deister, who is a radio personality here in Belgium. And I just thought these two need to come together. They have a load of experience in interviewing bands and they can give great tips on how a journalist or a wannabe journalist can get a good interview out of a band and how a band can give a good interview.
Becoming a good music journalist is probably not going to happen overnight. Passion and hard work are crucial for the job.
If you're a music journalist, you have to be passionate about music, you know. If you'd rather be playing video games, go and be a journalist about video games. You have to have a passion for what you're talking about and the determination and drive to put in a lot of hard work because it's not a 9-to-5 job.
I think one of the most important things for me is to be well prepared, because that gives you a good base to start an interview, and that will give you the confidence and the calm that you need to go into a conversation.
The goal of the event is to send students home with some new ideas on the art of music journalism.
I'm hoping that some people will go away a bit motivated to perhaps try different things next time that they interview someone, or maybe, just have one idea from the whole night that they didn't know before. That would be great.
One idea or multiple ideas, the students definitely learn something.
The main tips that I will keep in mind is never ask what, but why. Don't ask obvious questions. I think that's the most important thing.
Prepare more and to contact the right person.
Musicians are people too, and they're human, and you don't actually have to be super nervous to interview them, and just try and be yourself and stay calm.
Radio Redhead did not only stimulate students, also people with experience in music journalism were inspired by the event.
I have a program on Quindo too, so I know what it is to interview people and to interview bands. If you keep the tips in mind, I think you can go a long way with those tips.
I think it's been brilliant. It's really interesting to hear professional journalists talking about what it means to interview musicians, but it's also good to hear from musicians and others in the audience about what they think it's like to be interviewed and what they're expecting from interviews.
UEA fantastic SeaMedia trip in Belgium. There's not only the special media events in Belgium, the UEA media students come here enjoy their exciting student trip as well. They had a good time in the Cogents, Brussels and Bruges.
Welcome to Redhead Radio Talkfest. This is all about music interviews with musicians and bands. Bye-bye.
Make a symbol out of that, import it into the brushes panel, and apply it.
International students for UEA come to Belgium to learn about the European Union. One of the reasons for the creation for the EU is to encourage international cooperation instead of the war.
Visiting students from China got their first inkling of the horrors of the First World War, which engulfed Europe, when they saw the grime and the filth of the preserved trenches at the Hill 62 Museum. Thousands of soldiers from opposing sides died fighting here, as the battle surged backwards and forwards for the entire 4 years of the war. The extent of the horror becomes apparent on a visit to a war cemetery, such as this one at Linsenhoek. There are 11,000 graves. Chinese students were surprised to find their own compatriots had also died in the conflict. The worldwide nature of the war is clear at Meningate Memorial. There are over 50,000 names recorded here from all corners of the globe. It's still a place of worldwide pilgrimage.
My name's Bronwyn and I'm from Adelaide in South Australia, and I'm laying a wreath to commemorate my two great uncles who died on the Western Front. So one of my uncles was in the first landing at Gallipoli on Anzac Day, and then he transferred to the Western Front and was here for almost 2 years. So we've come from Adelaide to find one of their graves and commemorate their service.
Thank you for watching SeaMe TV Evening News. See you tomorrow. Good night.